Alright, so that's how every episode I fucking start goes. We're gonna be playing Final Fantasy X, not 10-2, because I've never really been a big fan on 10-2. Um, yeah, so Final Fantasy X is a game that I remember pretty darn fondly from when I was younger. Um, my dad bought a PS2 specifically for this game. I don't remember exactly when the first time this came out. I believe 2001. It should tell us here in a second. It should tell us when the Final Fantasy IX project does. I think I believe it started in 96 or something. So 2001, yeah. I'm just hoping this isn't too loud. I'm gonna turn down my microphone volume on here. So if the audio ends up being too loud for the game and not okay, so this must have come out in 2002. I'm assuming. I have no idea. But I remember this game pretty damn well. By that I mean I remember the beginning pretty well. So standard sphere grid. This is all stuff for the PS4 version. We'll be using the original soundtrack. I'm trying to talk over as much of the soundtrack and cutscenes as I can to, prevent copyright detection. Because Square really does hold the Final Fantasy series at a higher standard when it comes to the cutscenes and the music, which is more than understandable. Because this piece right here you're listening to is called Tizanderkind, and I love this piece. It's one of my favorite pieces of music out of this game. But I remember the names of these guys, and I haven't played this game in easily 10 years. But the blue guy's Kamari, guy standing up's Titus, girl in this girl right here is Yuna. The girl that had the feather was Riku. Wako was there with the red hair. But yeah, it's this game holds a pretty darn sincere spot in my heart. Much like how Final Fantasy VII does, but Final Fantasy VII is a different flavor of Final Fantasy. Pretty much every Final Fantasy is a different flavor of Final Fantasy. There's no true definition as to what Final Fantasy is. Oh, the guy in the red right there is Auron. And that's all our weapons right there on the left. I don't remember what the name of the Blitzball is. I think it's just Blitzball, but that sword right there, that blue sword's called the Brotherhood, if I remember right. But yeah, this game is just I remember loving it as a kid. Let's see if I remember loving it now. Or yeah, but I do have some water with me right here, so if I pause to make any weird noises or you hear a gulp or whatever, that's probably what that is. So it looks like my audio on the microphone's a bit too loud, but we'll change that if this ends up being
Listen to my story.
Yeah.
This may be our last chance.
Yeah, this game is just I remember fighting Seymour at the wedding between two characters. I remember the beginning very well, and I just started a game the other day. Like, I bought this game on Sunday of... Today's Thursday. Sunday of this week, I believe. I haven't played it much, because, of course, I have to go to work, and my 2 days off, I did absolutely nothing. I played more World of Warcraft than I did anything on my 2 days off. Which is another pastime I can't say I'm too proud to have, but yet, I enjoy the game. Apparently WoW is the best way to earn money for Overwatch loot boxes, no. So we are in Zanarkand right now. And this game does get a bit trippy, and a lot of things are intentionally left open. I don't know what that shake's about. A lot of things are intentionally left open for the fan interpretation. That's what I think Tetsuya Nomura worked on this one. I think he was the creative director. They don't credit people on the back of the cases. I can't remember, but here we are moving. If you're looking at this and wondering what in the world, bear with it, because this is a PS2 game, early PS2 game remastered for a console 2 generations later. So when you're here, first thing you want to do is talk to these kids.
Can you sign this?
No problem.
Now, I don't care how you say it. I'm going to say it Titus because that's how I grew up hearing it. I know it's pronounced Titus. Contextually, it's pronounced Titus, but in Kingdom Hearts, which is official Square, it's Titus. That's how they say it in Kingdom Hearts. So,
Alrighty.
surprisingly enough, nobody will ever refer to your character by his name, which is amazing. They eventually went ahead and started naming characters like Final Fantasy 13 comes to mind and Final Fantasy 15 so that they can actually use their names in the story.
Of course.
Good luck tonight.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about. Oh,
Big
if I
issue
score a
with
goal,
this remaster is
I'll do this.
the faces
I'll
look
do this for you,
very
Okay.
distant of life. They don't look very
What seat?
emotional.
Walk in the front row.
They just look very plain painting like.
Got it.
You can see it now that I pointed it out, but they look very plain.
Well, gotta go. Cheer for me.
2, 3. Teach us how to blitz.
Hey, I got a game to play.
Yeah.
Then teach us after.
Maybe tonight? Well,
You can't tonight.
I mean tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
Promise?
Promise.
This game looks superb though. Like they did a really good job remastering it. The textures look very nice and crisp. It's just I wish they upped the polygon count on the NPCs because Titus looks fine. All the main characters look fine with their polygon count, but geez, do the NPCs not look that good? And the PS4 can handle it, but I just don't think this game's engine can. That's probably why they didn't do it. That there is Jekt. That is Titus's father. He was a blitzball player. I believe he was also a summoner as well.
I was in a coffee shop.
We are actually going to skip this.
Our
but-
hero, Jekt, gone.
Yeah,
Vanished into
Jekt
thin air.
is just gone. Titus doesn't
My
like
dad must have
Jekt.
been his biggest fan. I knew
I
how
think
sad he'd be.
Jekt was a bit of a
Heck, we
dick.
all
I
were
can't
that
really
day.
remember very well.
Zanar, I says to myself, what are you thinking? I went running straight back home. We sat up talking about Jekt.
Yeah. So I plan on getting.
Make way, make way.
We gotta push our way through here.
Coming
On the
through,
28th, Horizon Zero Dawn comes out, and I plan on getting that.
Hey,
And
I'm
I
gonna
know
be
I've made
late.
so many plans to play a different game.
Hey, let's
So many
go.
times for a playthrough. Man, they're just moving on through. But I will be starting a playthrough on Horizon whenever I get it. I'm not guaranteeing I'll get it on the 28th, but the Nintendo Switch comes out on the 3rd, and I'm really hoping to be able to get a Switch. I probably won't because they're really expensive. That's in... Well, that is in a week. It's like next week. Like to the day. I believe today's 24th? Yes. Yep, but the name of the game here is Blitzball. And it's pretty big deal in the world of Spira. It's basically one thing that unifies everybody is this one sport. It's just pretty much water soccer. That's the best way I can describe it. You can just do a lot of really cool stuff in the water though. Yeah. Zanarkand's a really pretty place. It just looks very, it does in fact look very fantasy, but it does look like Atlantis, though. I'm not entirely too sure as to what the little pillars were of water. But yeah, Blitzball looks like it can get pretty intense sometimes, but once we get to playing it a little bit, the opinion there will in fact change. Yeah. And everybody knows that Titus is in fact Jack's son, so that's why Titus is a Blitzball player, and why he has so many fans, is because everybody liked Jack. We're just gonna ignore this because it is anime. Yeah. I have no idea what the name of the song is that's playing, by the way. Let's listen to the original soundtrack. I believe the shot that he's trying to do here is the Jack shot, which is only a shot that his father can do. You can learn it later in the game, but I believe you gotta play a lot of Blitzball. I'll also try to take a look at the achievement list after this. But yeah. This world's crumbling around him. Yeah. Is that the end of the cutscene? Yep. Yeah, his face right here looks like superb for texture wise. Orin! Yeah.
What are you doing here?
I was waiting for you.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. So Titus knows Orin. I don't quite remember why or how. Yeah. Okay.
Huh?
It begins.
Does it now?
What?
Don't cry.
Looks like he's standing in water. Or sand or something.
What the?
Yeah.
Hey, wait!
I'm trying to get to a
Hey,
stopping point
not
and then
this
start
way.
a new one.
Look,
I'm looking, man. I'm looking. Yeah. Yeah, these cutscenes just looked absolutely fantastic when I was
we
little.
called it sin.
Sin?
I'm assuming they weren't able to render it how they wanted it to look, which is why they used a cutscene there. There's top of the line stuff there. Same here. I'm assuming that's why they cutscened it instead of rendering it. Rendering it in the game's engine. These little guys are pretty freaky. See, Sin's off in the distance, but it just doesn't look like something's in it. Let me take this blade. It's called the broadsword. I believe you get
A gift
one
from
that
Jack.
looks exactly like it in the future. I want Orin's
I hope
blade.
you know how to use it.
Let's find out the name of it real quick. This blade's like stupid
These
nice.
ones don't matter. We cut through.
What do we got here? Weapon. Oh, it's called Katana. Okay. Overkill. Jesus. Okay. Attack that one. You attack that one. So in past Final Fantasies, triangle didn't block. It passed it on to the next character. So if like... Oh, this one doesn't run on ATB though, which is probably why it blocks. ATB stands for Active Time Battle. You're a Final Fantasy fan, you know what that is, but... Yeah, Yeah, the ATB pretty much is all on the timer, active time battle. If I press triangle, see how the thing on the right moves? This is how everything is going to go through. So Titus will attack first, but if I attack now, Orin gets the attack next in the party. But if I use an item, I get to go again before Orin does. Now, we're still looking at the diagram on the right there. See how the arrow is pointing towards Titus? That means it's his turn. So whoever Monster C is, that's going to attack or use whatever move they want next, and then D, then E, and then it'll go on from there. But yeah, it's a pretty Final Fantasy X's battle system is pretty neat. It is pretty neat. I think this is the only game to use this specific battle system. Although I can't really remember what 10.2's battle system was. I remember it involving clothing changing for some reason in the game. 10.2 is a very different game from 10. Either love it or you hate it. That's how 10.2 is. Demi. Yeah, Demi can mess your day up.
Get out of my town!
Some can't wait to die.
Yeah, some of the line deliveries are, here we are with Overcharge. You press left on the D-pad in Bushido and Dragon Fang. I believe that Orin's involves button presses. Now, each overdrive is a bit different. It reminds me of the limit breaks from Final Fantasy VII. Matter of fact, we're gonna go ahead and end it right here. 16-minute video, and we'll explain it.